Hey now! What is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and I am joined by.
Teeny talking Tina.
And this is a drunk movie commentary. And I'll be honest, we usually drink fairly decently throughout our commentaries in the past, but right now, I'll just full disclosure, we've done like what, 3 shots beforehand, and one of them was Jaeger.
Yeah.
And it was really gross, but I wanted to be as tipsy and as loosey goosey as I could for this.
I know what you're thinking. 3 shots.
I know,
That's it.
and we're lightweights. Yeah, I know. Well, I didn't want to be completely slosh. I still had to record over here, and I had to get this movie loaded. Which, by the way, this movie that we're doing is.
We're cheap dates.
Yeah, right. It won't take much, let me tell you. Bill Cosby will have very easy dosage. All right, anyway, so this is the 20-year anniversary of X-Men the movie. And I'm debating on whether or not we go through all of the X-Men movies after this. Maybe you guys can let us know in the comments below if that's what you want to see. If it is what you want to see, then we will definitely do it. If the demand is Logan, we will talk about Logan. And Gambit's not in this movie. No,
I know, but he has to be mentioned. X-Men.
He's not mentioned.
He has to.
He's not. But but also I ordered a bunch of X-Men Funko Pop figures that I'm waiting to come in the mail. They're taking forever because they're unavailable. And you just burped into the live mic. That's cool.
Sorry.
Well, let's just get this commentary started. If you guys want to play along, we have it queued up at 0.00. We're going to get this started in 3, 2, 1. Okay, here we go. All right, it's going. 3 seconds, 4 seconds. We see the Fox logo, which is something that
we're never going to see again in the future.
We're never going to see the Fox logo. We saw New Mutants in theaters not that long ago.
And they had the 20th century.
It said 20th Century Studios. And it was still the same music and the same sort of font.
Fox.
Did you notice, by the way, that on the Fox, like right before it ended, it faded and highlighted the X?
I didn't notice
It's very cool. It's something that I don't think I noticed until I probably didn't notice until first class. Like they've been doing it since the beginning of these movies, but I never noticed it until way later. So we're getting narration by Patrick Stewart, who plays Charles Xavier. Patrick Stewart, I know that he was
he's great in Logan.
Well,
I know we're not watching that movie.
Yeah, he is great in Logan. That's probably his best performance as Xavier. But he was well known way before this film from Star Trek, The Next Generation, as Picard.
He was.
And he's very well known in that. I mean, I've never really watched it fully, but I've seen enough of it here and there in clips, and growing up it would always be on, to recognize him as Picard. Seeing him being cast though as Xavier, I think that's his defining role, at least for me personally. I think that he's great.
It was a good call.
He looks the part. He feels like Xavier. He knows how to be stern but also caring. This beginning, Poland, 1944. How insane is this that the first X-Men movie in the year 2000, a Marvel superhero film, starts with a concentration camp and Jews being marched into camps by Nazis, and this is hardcore dark. This is something that I feel like Christopher Nolan watched and said, oh, okay, you can make a superhero movie dark. And then that's how we got Batman Begins. I feel like this movie showed a lot of other directors and filmmakers that you can treat this stuff seriously. You don't have to go full spandex and comic book. And, all of that's great. Don't get me wrong when it's done right. But to strip it down and give us something this heavy right off the bat before you even see any other character, this is crazy. This is, obviously that's Magneto, young Magneto, and we're about to see his parents.
They could be showing this in schools.
They could be, absolutely.
Why didn't they show this in schools? I feel like I missed out. They showed Saving Private Ryan.
I know. I've seen a lot of war movies in school, and yeah, I mean,
they could have shown X-Men.
This scene especially is very haunting, seeing him be separated from his mother.
I would be so upset.
And-
I wouldn't keep walking. I would be like her.
And this is what triggers his mutation. And I love this. I love putting this, Magneto, the further away that we get from...
Why were they separated?
Well, because they didn't stick families together in these camps, they just kind of placed you wherever the... I mean, I'm saying it like I was there. I wasn't there, but I'm assuming that they didn't stick families together like that. And you're seeing him move the gate. I assume this is the very first time he used his powers, at least to this extent. And I also love that, I don't know if you remember this, Tina, but in X-Men First Class, they re-show this scene, and then we see they just knocked him out. They re-show this scene, and then we see what happens to him after this, like as a kid.
It was Kevin Bacon?
Yes. So, very cool that like this was set up in movie 1, and then they expanded upon it later. We were supposed to get an X-Men Origins Magneto movie, and that's where we would have seen a lot of this. But they changed it, and instead they reworked his backstory into First Class. I still think Michael Fassbender with his own Magneto movie would have been great. But what we got to was still pretty good. The Not Too Distant Future, Mississippi. Here's where we meet Rogue, which, let me ask you, Tina. Rogue is played by Anna Paquin, and there are people who are upset at her playing this character because in the movie, Rogue is very, she's very, she's a little angsty. She's your typical teenager. She's not the sassy southern charismatic Rogue from the cartoon. Do you know what I'm talking about? Rogue in the cartoon was very, very, throwing out one-liners and very fun.
I liked her.
Yes.
In the cartoon.
Yes. And this Rogue, she's younger.
Shy.
She's shy. She's timid. We're going to see the very first time that she uses her powers. Her powers, of course, is bad. She's going to drain the life of this kid right here. Now, to be fair, I like Rogue. I like Anna Paquin as Rogue. I think she's a good actress. She won an Oscar at like 11 years old. So, I mean, clearly she's a good actress. It's just, people were weirded out, I guess, by change, and I get that. Change is always something that you have to get used to. And, I'm not saying that I wouldn't have liked a more traditional Rogue or a Rogue that I was more familiar with. But, it did feel like they were combining Rogue with Jubilee and with Kitty Pryde. It seemed like they took all three of those characters and just made them one. And I can see why that's bothersome, but I was okay with it. At least
I liked her. I liked her.
I like Anna Paquin. Plus, it helps that I was 11, 12 years old when this movie came out, so I wasn't all that picky, let's be honest. I couldn't believe that we were getting a live-action X-Men movie when this happened. I did not see this in theaters for whatever reason. I saw this maybe a couple years after the fact. I was going into high school, and I remember a friend of mine put it on, and I don't know if I wasn't aware of them, or I don't know why I didn't see them.
I don't remember the first time I saw this movie.
The first X-Men movie I saw in theaters, sadly, was X-Men 3: The Last Stand. It was just so bad. It's so terrible. I think at the time I liked it because, again, it was just live-action X-Men. I was all for live-action Marvel. I liked everything that they put out.
I can't look at this guy and not think of Polly.
Who, Senator Kelly?
Yeah.
Polly, what, the Seth Rogen movie? Wait, Polly
No,
who?
the Bird. The Bird movie.
I don't know this movie.
You don't know this movie?
What's Polly?
Review King.
Okay, you're gonna call me out and shit on me because there's a movie that I've never heard of. What's Polly?
It's this bird this little girl had, and she had a hard time learning how to talk, and she had a bird.
Sounds fascinating. Yeah.
And since they were teaching her how to talk, the bird learned how to talk.
Okay. And he's the bird or something?
Yeah.
Is he really? What the fuck kind of movies? The movies that
And
you know, I swear, Tina,
he's the doctor.
Okay. You know what? I will Google Polly, because you have my curiosity. Now we saw this was our first glance of Jean Grey giving her speech, and
There's Professor X.
this Professor X, and we
there's
just saw Magneto
Magneto.
walk away. I love this moment. This is our first time seeing these two characters talk on screen to each other. Of course, they are best friends, and they have they've known each other for years. I guess you can argue that the only thing that with these X Men movies is that we never really saw them as true friends. In X Men First Class, you saw them get along in a sense. You saw Xavier help Magneto with his powers, but by the end of that movie, they become enemies, and so you never got that movie where like they're friends, or at least this friendship that they speak of. You don't feel like you got enough of it. So, but I do like how Ian McKellen right here and Patrick Stewart, you do buy that there was a friendship there. There is a respect there, and that's why he's not just killing him right here. Um, it is an interesting choice to cast Ian McKellen as Magneto because he's an older actor and he's I don't want to say frail. He's not frail, but he's not built in a way that looks like Magneto from the cartoons. And it's once again it's another example of changing Magneto a little bit. But I like this actor enough. He plays it so serious and so menacing, but also so understanding. He brought a lot to this role that I think that's why you don't hear a lot of people complain about that. Here's Rogue. She has run away from home. She hitchhiked, which thank God this guy's not a pedophile or anything. Um, what age do you think Rogue is right here? Like, what age do you think? Like 14, 15, 16?
I was gonna say 15.
Yeah, somewhere around there. I mean, I don't know if Anna Paquin was really that age. She probably wasn't, but she looks that young. I don't mind if an actor is older and plays younger if they look it, and she definitely looks young.
This is where we meet Logan.
This is where we meet Wolverine, and I love how we meet him. I love that it's in like a cage, right? And he just killed a guy. You know, he's just dominant. This is how he wins money. This is how he makes money by just And look at it. You see his back, right? Like you see that he's not having fun. He's not enjoying doing this. He just does it because
he needs the money.
It's how he gets paid. And look at him drinking. I love it. I love this first movie. I think this first movie, does not get enough credit as far as being one of the jump starters for the superhero craze that we now have. They went for a very much realistic, stripped down version of the X-Men, and I like that. Especially for the time, the year 2000, they weren't ready. People were not ready for the actual X-Men, so this was a good way to make. There you go. He just broke this guy's knuckles, and then look at this. I mean, headbutt. I love it.
He'll take it personal. What does that even mean? And he thinks that
Hugh Jackman
go home with him.
Probably. They just call him the Wolverine. Hugh Jackman looks great. Okay, so I don't know if you know this, Tina, but Hugh Jackman was originally not cast as Wolverine. Originally, Doug Ray Scott was cast as
Who's
Wolverine.
That?
Doug Ray. He's been in movies. He's played the villain in Mission Impossible 2, but I never showed you Mission Impossible 2. We jumped right to Mission Impossible 3. He plays Kate Kane's father in Batwoman. Doug Ray Scott, the father, the one.
Oh, he's the prince in Ever After with Drew Barrymore.
I never saw that, but sure, fine him. All right, so he was originally cast as Wolverine.
Really?
Yes. Now the reason why he's not here is because in Mission Impossible 2, where he played the villain, that movie ran 2 weeks past schedule, and he was supposed to do this movie right after Mission Impossible 2, but because they went over schedule, they were 2 weeks into production on this, and they needed a Wolverine, so he had to bow out, and they found Hugh Jackman on like from Broadway, and he quickly auditioned for Bryan Singer. Bryan Singer casted him and said, you get, and so he just was thrown into this 2 weeks already into production. And it's insane to think about that because
he does such a great job.
he does such a great job. He seems like the character, even though he's not 4'10" or whatever Wolverine is in the comic books. He feels like Logan. He feels like Wolverine. You would never know that he probably had very little time to prepare and prep for this. And I can't imagine. Look at that. Look how real that looks coming out of his skin. His claws have never looked more real coming out of his skin than that shot right there. This is where they find out that, or discover that he's a mutant. So I guess he's not welcome there anymore. But yeah, it just, I can't picture anybody else playing. Look at that. Oh, love it. He growls. I love it. He's so good though. It's like he understood this character on day one, and he made this his own. He left a legacy to this role that I feel sorry for the actor that Disney Marvel decides to cast as Wolverine, because you have some big shoes to follow. I'm sorry.
Right? He did such a great job.
I
don't think that other guy would have done such a great job.
Doug Scott, yeah. It's a weird casting. I can't picture him as Wolverine either. Yeah. It would have been very different. It would have been very different. And I don't know if he would have had the lasting power that Hugh Jackman had. Hugh Jackman played this role for 17 straight years. He played him consistently. He was in every single X-Men movie besides Dark Phoenix that came out a couple of years ago. But other than that, he was in every single X-Men movie. And he was committed, And he's the type of actor that you see do like a musical, you'll see do a dramatic role, you'll see do a comedy like movie 43. Like, he'll do anything, and he's a chameleon, and then he can do something stupid, right? And then he shows back up as Wolverine. He's back to having an 8-pack, and he's shredded, and he's believable as this character again. So here you have Rogue snuck onto his little area here. I do love that the bond that Logan and Rogue have is clearly built in this first movie, and in all of the sequels, you see that he's always checking on her. He's always being that kind of father figure, making sure that she's in the right place. I like this.
No, you didn't. I love it.
And she does have that accent there. I think this movie, she has that Mississippi accent that Rogue has. I think in the sequels, you don't really hear it as much. And I think some people complained about that, that Rogue didn't have her accent. But the first movie, you can hear it. The first movie, you can hear the accent.
Yeah, because it's her first movie.
Right. And then you see Rogue wearing gloves there. Anna Paquin, some people might know her from True Blood. I was a big fan of True Blood. I'm trying to get Talking Tina to watch True Blood, but she's
vampire porn.
She's convinced it's vampire porn. And look, I'm not prepared to say that she's wrong. I'm just trying to get her to give it a chance. Yep, he's wearing dog tags, and it says Wolverine on them. And she noticed that, and then he doesn't really have much stuff back there. I would take a movie with just Rogue and Logan, just these two on like a road trip. I would watch that, like in the same vein and style as Logan. Like she freaked out because he almost touched her. Hugh Jackman looks so good with the cigar and just his hair. I just love it. I'm just admiring how cool he looks. And I love this line when she asks if his claws hurt when it comes out, and he says every time. I love that line because I always think about that in every movie with him when his claws come out. I always remember that he says.
Even in Logan,
when he's slicing people in half.
Yeah,
and shit.
He's just so old and he's so
withered
drained.
and yeah. But like I always remember that he said it hurt. and there you go. My name's Logan. First time you hear it. I forget how she gets the name Rogue. Her name's Marie. Oh, there goes a tree.
That's where we meet Sabretooth, right?
Yes. Now, is Sabretooth his brother in this first movie? They never say it. Neither one of them acknowledge being brothers. Obviously, Wolverine wouldn't remember it because he lost his memory. I don't even know how much we addressed that yet so far as him not remembering. But we know that at some point he loses his memory. So Wolverine wouldn't know. But Sabretooth, this Sabretooth is played by Tyler Mane, right? That's the actor's name. Now,
my God, look at all that blood.
Yeah, we'll see. If he wasn't a mutant, that would have killed him, that crash. But but this is the first time that we see that he can heal himself. But see, there you go. And for the year 2000, that effect still holds up. That looks pretty good. But we see that Sabretooth, this Sabretooth looks very much like the cartoon version of Sabretooth, with the long hair and the beat. See, he knows that wasn't an accident, that tree was, and he smells them. Look at that. I love it. There he goes. So yeah, this Sabretooth, yeah, I mean, he barely gets any lines, honestly. I don't know if this actor, because he's played.
She's gonna die in this fire.
I mean, she could.
That propane tank.
Propane tank.
Yeah. I can't talk.
We've had a few shots. We'll forgive you for any misspeaking.
Propane tank is gonna explode.
And
he doesn't say anything. All he does is
growl. He growls and grunts.
Snares and like.
He might say one word later on. We'll get to it.
Mating call.
See, okay, here we go. We get introduced to the X-Men, at least some of the X-Men. Here's Storm, played by Halle Berry. And,
look at his face.
And here is Cyclops, played by James Marsden. We can talk about these two. But before I get there, I just want to say that as far as acting goes, I really like Liev Schreiber as Sabretooth. It sucks that he wasn't in a better movie because he's really good. His acting is really good as Sabretooth. Victor Creed.
How did they know how to be there?
Like, oh, yeah, it's a good question. Like, where did they come from? We never get
that explanation.
They might say something to Xavier. I don't remember. We'll look out for it. Yeah, because they just show up, right? There's Toad. This actor, Ray Park, he also plays Darth Maul. The actor that plays Toad. He plays Darth Maul in the Star Wars prequels. Yeah, that's Darth Maul, right there. But you see, he might say something right here actually to Magneto. I don't remember. Look at how he's moving the balls, but it's not connected to anything. It's just Magneto moving them. They knew. All right, he said that. Look at that. He's just moving them like by himself. He says Charles is a step ahead of him. Hey, I like that. You know the actor? Oh, he took his and you see his Holocaust numbers. The actor that plays Sabretooth, you know, he played Michael Myers in the remakes, the Rob Zombie remakes.
Who plays who plays him? Who plays Sabretooth?
In this movie?
Yes.
Well, the actor's name is Tyler Mane. I only know him from, he also played Michael Myers, like I said, from the Halloween, the Rob Zombie remakes. The one where, like, you know, they show him as a little kid.
So this is the only movie he talks in.
Right, because he doesn't talk, right. Although, in Halloween 2...
That's probably why he has so few lines.
In the remake of Halloween 2, he does say one word to Sam Loomis. He says, die, as he stabs him. So, that's the only word Michael Myers says in those movies. Oh, look at Jean Grey just tried to put a needle in him. He just freaked out. Who would have thought that he would fall in love with this woman? even though she's married, but we'll get to that. Famke Janssen as Jean Grey is perfect casting. I mean, Sophie Turner's fine, I guess, but I can't not think of Famke Janssen for Jean Grey. Like, that's another character that they're gonna have to do a good job recasting. I've heard Hugh Jackman complain about himself, saying that he wasn't in the best shape for this movie because of the little prep time. Now, mind you, he looks great here, but he's not as shredded as he is in the later movies. You know what I mean? And he always, when he talks back about that, he's always self conscious about that he wasn't like as shredded as he would have liked to have been. But it's like, dude, you still look fucking great. Like, calm down. It is weird though that like in X-Men Origins Wolverine, the prequel to this, he is shredded, and then like if you watch those movies back to back, luckily I don't think a lot of people are watching X-Men Origins Wolverine back to back with this movie because that movie is what it is. I do like though that we find out the school, we see this school and everything about it through Wolverine. We're getting introduced to it through Wolverine. It's a very good idea because
he didn't start killing up students.
Can you imagine? He just starts like kids start come out
kids and it's some sick Rick and Morty like episode.
I mean, I would watch that. There you go. You're hearing kids right now, but like Wolverine, there's the kids and some kid has blue hair. Is that like a part of his power or something? Who knows?
Maybe it's just a fad or whatnot.
He's a what? What'd you call it?
A fad.
Oh. That's what I thought you said. There he goes. Hey, there's Bobby. Bobby would eventually, we find out he's Iceman. Now that blonde kid that's right next to him, that is supposed to be Pyro, but that's not the same actor that plays Pyro in the sequels. Pyro, the kid with the fire ability? Now, this is supposed to be Kitty Pryde, but that's clearly not Ellen Page. See, she went right through that's Kitty Pryde's ability. So that's supposed to be Kitty Pryde, but Ellen Page plays her in X-Men 3. And that's one of the few things that X-Men 3 did well, was cast Ellen Page and Kelsey Grammer.
Yes, of course, because you heal yourself.
I do like how Xavier does that. He talks to people in their mind. He's kind of messing with them. Okay, Storm. I do like how Wolverine makes fun of their names, or the idea of them having those names. What do they call it? Okay, here you go. Jean Grey. Now, why doesn't she have like a weird nickname? All of them are also called this. Why isn't Jean Grey called like something, right? I don't know. Of course, that's because of the comic books, but I'm just saying, like, logically. I do like what Wolverine says to him right here. Sabretooth. And what do they call you? Wheels? Well, oh, here we go. That's so funny. That's good stuff. And then this is where him and Cyclops, they have to measure each other's dicks right here. Here we go.
Yep.
Of course, Logan has to be the alpha.
He doesn't even know he's going after his girl too.
He has to be the alpha male of any room that he's in. So Xavier's telling him that he knows that he doesn't remember things, and he's saying he could help him because he's reading his mind. He's freaking out.
Ooh.
Okay, now let me ask you something, really quick. Let's go through some of this casting. James Marsden as Cyclops. Do you like that casting? Do you like him as Cyclops?
I do.
I do too. I only have an issue with they don't do enough with him. He's a really good actor. He's been in a bunch of stuff. I think he could have been a really better Cyclops than what they gave him. they just don't really do much with him. He's just kind of there. We're told that he's kind of the leader of the X-Men, at least as far.
What?
That's Jubilee. The Asian girl with the yellow jacket looks a lot like Jubilee, and that's cool. It just she's another. See, that's Pyro. He's played by another actor in the next two movies. But Jubilee was always somebody that I wanted to see more of. Jubilee's a big character in the cartoons, the '90s cartoons that I grew up on. So I always felt like she deserved more. She was just kind of there in the background. I mean, I guess it's fine to have her there in the background. Maybe it's better than nothing, but it also sucks to not get more of a character with her. You see that Bobby is completely hitting on Rogue right now. Look at that. He just made a rose out of ice. This is Sean Ashmore, right?
It's not Sean Astin.
No. Well, because he has a twin brother that was on Smallville that played Jimmy Olsen, and they look a lot alike, but he has a different, you know what I mean? He has a different name. Aaron Ashmore, maybe? Anyways. Sean Ashmore was also on Smallville as a villain in season 2 and 3. But anyways, here's our first look at their X-Men costumes. DC. Yeah, I know. You're right. But we've seen actors mix and match from DC to Marvel plenty of times. But yeah, so this is Xavier giving Logan the tour of the... It's not just a school, really. When you see all these rooms and how big this place is, this is also a place for them to live at. And I know. All right, here you go. Human rights. You see that there are protests going on as far as
human rights. Oh, shut up.
Mutants versus humans, and you're seeing.
You're just jealous that you can't do stuff with your shit.
They're all anti-mutants. All these people. Very interesting actually to go back and see the human rights and the mutant rights and see all those protesting. When you compare it to today's protests and shit that's going on today, very relevant. The X-Men story, I think, will always be relevant as long as this shit's still going on. All right, so we're gonna get our first look right now at Mystique. Yes, I didn't want, because I know it's been a while since you've seen this movie, so I didn't want to spoil it, but
I still remember.
Mystique is played by
John Stamos' ex.
his ex-wife, Rebecca Romijn, which it took me forever to not call her Rebecca Romijn Stamos, because that was how I was introduced to her, and now she's married to Jerry O'Connell. But I like her as Mystique. Of course, she's not given as much as Jennifer Lawrence was, but I'll be honest, Rebecca Romijn gave more of a shit about playing Mystique than Jennifer Lawrence did. Jennifer Lawrence was very disinterested playing this role. I love her design here. It's very unique. And she hates humans. She's very anti-humans. She has a mutant and proud is very much her stance. And don't get me wrong, I like some of Jennifer Lawrence's performance as her, as far as there's Toad flying the plane. I like Jennifer Lawrence in First Class and Days of Future Past, but X-Men Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix, Jennifer Lawrence did not give a fuck about this role. She was coasting. I
missed Dark Phoenix.
You didn't see that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Isn't that?
I mean, sure.
As a zombie?
I mean, she's there. She's present. But is she really doing anything? you know what I mean? She's there. But I mean, to be honest, yeah, I like Mystique's role in Days of Future Past the best. But I think I prefer Rebecca Romijn as the character. I do. Now, this is where they find out that all of his bones are made of adamantium metal. Now, let me ask you this. What do you think of Famke Jensen as Jean Grey? That wasn't who I was going to ask you. I was actually going to ask you about Storm, but I want to ask you about Jean Grey first. Do you like Famke Jensen as Jean Grey?
I do.
You do? All right. Now, Halle Berry as Storm. What do you think?
I like her as Storm.
I've always liked her as Storm.
But what? She's not Hawaiian?
No. I mean, my problem with her, like, I've gathered more problems with her as Storm the older I got. Like, obviously, when I was younger, when I was like a teenager and I first saw this, I just kind of took it as it was. But like now, when I watch her as Storm, I have issues with her. In this first movie, she tries to have the African accent, right? She goes for it. It doesn't sound good. It sounds like shit. But at least she went for it, right? The second movie, she doesn't even bother anymore. She just sounds like Halle Berry. They got rid of the accent. My thing with her is that, well, for one, she's kind of young. She might be a little too young for Storm right here. Like, obviously, when she shows up in Days of Future Past and she's older, cool. But I think she's too young for this role here. Not just that, though. Somebody put it in my head. I forget who it was or where I heard it from. It might have been a podcast that was talking about it. Somebody said that Angela Bassett should have been cast as Storm. And I heard that and I said, holy fuck, they're right. And ever since then, I've been like, yeah, this should have been Angela Bassett. Without a doubt. She has the presence. She has that, like, that mature attitude about her. I think she would have.
She probably stumbles on her lines. That's probably why she didn't get the part.
Angela Bassett. Do you know who Angela Bassett is?
No.
Okay, I mean she's been in like 100 movies. She played Cuba Gooding Jr.'s mom in Boys in the Hood. You've never seen that, right? She played How Stella Got Her Groove Back. You ever see that?
No.
She was in Green Lantern, which you've never seen, right? With Ryan Reynolds. She was in Black Panther. She played T'Challa's mother.
The Queen?
Yes. That's Angela Bassett. I mean, you've probably seen her in other stuff too, but she's a really good actress. I mean, she's amazing. And
she would look a lot like Storm.
Like if you put white hair on her, she'd look amazing. She'd look more like cartoon comic book Storm than Halle Berry does. Halle Berry just looks like her because she's black, and it's like they went for the first black actress that they could think of, and that's how they got Halle Berry, as opposed to like thinking who would really serve this role better. And I honestly think Angela Bassett would have. Now I'm not gonna harp too heavy on this, but I have to mention that I do. I think that we would be talking a lot more different about Storm in her portrayal in these movies if it was Angela Bassett. But I digress. Halle Berry did what she did. She has a horrible line or a horrible.
She does a good job.
She has a horrible delivery of a line in this movie that comes up later. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible.
Where?
It's horrible. It comes later.
She does a good job. I remember her doing a good job.
No, she's not terrible. It's this one moment in this movie where she's horrible. We needed a second take. That's all I'll say. All right, so here you go. You have Jean Grey showing Logan his room. You can tell he doesn't want her to leave. What kind of things? Imagine her in bed, huh?
Now she could probably move your dick up straight.
Alrighty then. Whoa, we just went X-rated, didn't we?
Sorry, this isn't for kids. Oh my god, my son listens to this.
Oh, I hope he won't anymore. So, now mind you, she hasn't mentioned that she's married yet, but at the same time...
Is she married? She's not married.
Yeah, her and Scott are married.
They're not married.
Yes, they are.
They're married?
Yes. You think I'm making that up?
They're not married.
Yes, they are.
They're not married.
They're married, Tina. What are you talking about?
They're not
married. Look
it.
We're seeing glimpses of his of the experiment that turned. She saw it. This is our first. Now, Scott's like, what the fuck's going on here? Yeah. Nah, here we go.
This would probably say, tell me to stay with me, girl.
Yeah, and he goes, if I. I love this banter between them. I do. Oh, and Logan, stay away from my girl. I wish they gave James Marsden more, man. I'm telling you, because he's good. He's good. It's just the movies wanted to focus so much on Logan that they don't do Cyclops justice. And I always have said, especially within the last few years, that X-Men would be great as a live action TV show. I mean, obviously they've had a bunch of animated shows, X-Men the animated series, Wolverine and the X-Men. Like, there's been a bunch of animated X-Men shows that's been great. But I think a live action X-Men show would do a lot of these characters justice. It would give.
He's gonna stab her.
He is gonna stab her. You remember this? Because he's having nightmares. I'm sure Jean Grey maybe awoken some of this in him from looking in his head. Look at, he's seeing these people, which, mind you, in X-Men Origins Wolverine, it looks nothing like this. The experiment, look at, they're not wearing those masks or anything. Oh, he stabbed her. Oh, Rogue. Can you imagine if the first movie he kills Rogue right here? Look at that. Oh, he got her good too. Now this is where. Now she knows that he can heal himself because she saw her when she was in the car. She saw his head heal himself, so she knows that he can do that. So this is why she does what she does.
Oh my god.
And then she uses his ability to heal herself. And there you go. Look at that. There you go. And now all the kids see her abilities and see what she can do. Now, yeah, I don't know if Wolverine didn't have his abilities, if that would have killed him. It might have killed him. Yeah, everybody's freaked out by her now.
Yeah, because she just touched somebody and they almost died.
Yeah, that would do it. That's a great first impression. Does Bobby want to date her still?
She's gonna touch my dick, it's gonna fall off.
Alrighty then, I thought we established what kind of commentary this was.
Sorry, I'm tipsy.
Yeah. If she held on any longer, she could have. So, I mean, we don't know. Yeah, like, could she kill? Because, like, trying to kill Wolverine is not the easiest thing in the world, right? You know, in X-Men Origins Wolverine, they said cutting his head off, which I guess makes sense. But other than that,
how do you cut his head off if his skeleton is metal?
Well, because you haven't really seen. I've shown you clips of it, but you haven't really seen X-Men Origins Wolverine. In that movie, Deadpool, he looks like Baraka from Mortal Kombat, and he has these fucking knives that come out of his wrist, and so and Deadpool in that movie has the ability of like 10 mutants. Like, they put a bunch of mutant abilities into him. Stupid. So he might have been able to cut his head off because of his whatever. Because he had Cyclops's heat vision or laser vision eyes, and he heated up his. All right, so Senator Kelly, we didn't talk about it. Senator Kelly was turned into a mutant by Magneto, by that device that he had. He has a device that can turn humans into mutants because he wants to basically say fuck you to humans and show them what it's like. So Senator Kelly was able to squeeze his way through the bars because
he's a jellyfish now.
Exactly.
He's a human jellyfish.
Exactly. He has like no bone structure or anything. So yeah, he just told Sabretooth to grab him and bring him up here. Now, to be fair, it's not really his fault. Senator Kelly just fell into the ocean. And Magneto's reaction to this is quite hilarious. uh, he's so pissed. And then he just goes, fuck you. He locks him in the cell. I wonder how Sabretooth became partnered with Magneto. Like, how did that happen? Sabretooth never struck me like a follower, at least as far as the Liev Schreiber version of Sabretooth went. But continuity in these X-Men movies is not something to be taken seriously.
Oh my god.
Here we have the very first live-action movie cameo of Stan Lee. Do you remember this? Right there. He's the hot dog vendor. Right there in the background, right there. That's Stan
There
Lee.
he is.
It's the very first Marvel movie that Stan Lee was in. So we can credit X-Men for putting Stan Lee in cameos because the MCU clearly did a big job of that. Everybody went to an MCU movie almost waiting for the Stan Lee cameo. Where is he gonna pop up? What scene?
Right?
And but it was X-Men that did it first, and then eventually Spider-Man would do it too. Tobey Maguire Spider-Man did it.
And then it just happened in the MCU.
And yeah, and then he
It just was the thing.
I mean, it became the thing. Now here's Bobby. Bobby's telling Rogue to leave because everybody else is freaked out by her. So he's telling her, you should just leave the school. Now, if that doesn't sound like Bobby, well, there's a reason for that. Isn't that fucked up?
It is.
No, why would he do that?
Because it's not Bobby.
Because it's not Bobby, right? Exactly. Do you know who it is?
Mystique.
It's Mystique. Now, in the comic books, is Mystique Rogue's mother? Isn't that a thing? Yeah, there's the yellow eyes. That was... In the comic books, is Mystique Rogue's mother? I know Mystique is Nightcrawler's mother. Are you sure?
I'm not sure. I didn't read the comic book.
Well, I'm gonna look this up because I feel like I've...
You and the looking the stuff up.
Well, hey, I wanna at least act like I know what I'm talking about, even if I don't. All right. Okay, so I'm going to I'm going to Google this. Hold on. All right, here's the first time we see Cerebro. This looks great, honestly, especially for live action. They built this set practical, for real. You know, all right, Mystique, Rogue. All right, Tina.
It does say she's his mother.
It says right here, Mystique. She's the adoptive mother of Rogue, so she adopted her. That's what I'm thinking of. All right, so in the comics, Mystique adopted Rogue. I don't know why or how. I did not read that book. I just heard about this. If anybody in the comments below want to let me know, like what books that's from or what to read in order to get that story, feel free. But okay, so we should probably talk about this because we haven't talked about this yet. So Bryan Singer is the director of this movie, right? And you know, I would say, especially years ago, I'd feel a lot more comfortable saying that Bryan Singer did a great job directing this. You know, Bryan Singer also directed X-Men 2, which came after this. Bryan Singer was supposed to do X-Men 3, but he left to do Superman Returns, right? And so that's when they brought in Brett Ratner to do X-Men 3, and it went to shit. And then Bryan Singer came back to write, he co-wrote X-Men First Class. He came back and directed X-Men Days of Future Past. And so people feel like most of the movies, X-Men Apocalypse he directed, and that's not a great movie. But most of the times when Bryan Singer was involved, we got a good X-Men movie. The reason why I bring up Bryan Singer right now is because he's been accused of some of touching little boys.
No.
And so it's weird to go back on a movie that I think he directed very well and not think about that, you know, because you compliment a director, you say that he's done good work, but he possibly is a pedophile. And so it's weird. It's hard. He's been Wolverine just stole Cyclops' motorcycle. By the way, that was a great moment where Cyclops is looking for his motorcycle, and then we cut to Wolverine with it. She's seeing the thing that she can't have anymore is skin touch. Comforting. She can't have that anymore, unless you just want like leather touching. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, so Tina, what do you think? Do you think Bryan Singer like fuck him, or can you separate that? Can you
asking me?
Yeah. Well, can you say
all people?
Can you say that hey, he did a really good job directing, personal life aside, or do you say no, fuck him? You know. No matter what, unconditional. Even though he might have given us good movies, fuck him as a person. Or can you separate that? Can you separate that?
I separate that?
Can you personally? You. Yes, you as a person. Now there's fake Bobby. We just saw fake Bobby. He's still in the school. I don't know.
I can't separate that.
You can't?
I can't.
Okay.
I like the movies.
Yeah.
I do. You put that in my head now. Now all I'm going to be thinking about is
him touching little boys.
Yeah, this is a pedophile movie.
Well, he's been accused of having private parties at his house. They've called them sex parties, where like young boys have been there.
Yeah, I can't. No.
And it's weird that like how well known that was.
What do you mean how well known? I didn't know that.
Well, no, I know. No, I don't mean like.
And
I don't mean like people in the world. I mean
how do you know this shit?
Because somebody came out and said that he did stuff to him.
Who?
I forget who the person was.
You should remember this stuff. These people are valid.
I didn't say he wasn't valid. I just don't memorize the names of
the victims of this sick fuck.
The problem with that, we have a lot of victims in Hollywood right now. A lot of people who are accusing other people of stuff. And the names are getting really long right now. That list is very long right now. So between Bill Cosby and Harvey Weinstein and fucking Bryan Singer, and there's still many more to come. Ron Jeremy has been accused of raping 15-year-old girls. I mean, and like
why can't anybody just keep their shit in their pants?
Well, Ron Jeremy
and for people that are old enough.
No, I know it's gross. Trust me, I know. But
my God, I want to keep my children locked up.
Yeah,
and I'm really understanding those chastity belts. Can't get locksmiths for those, and if you do, they're pedophiles too. I'm gonna chop up their shit, and not just chop them off, dice them and slice them.
I like this moment of Wolverine.
What would Wolverine say?
Wolverine. What would Wolverine say? He would probably cut Bryan Singer's dick off if Wolverine was a real life human being. But you know, it's weird, right? Because like if you're Hugh Jackman, Bryan Singer gave you the big break of your career, and you know, and then you find out that he might be a pedophile. It's like, well,
you have kids. Does he have kids?
Does Hugh Jackman have kids? I don't know.
Does he have kids?
I know he's married, but I don't know if they have kids actually. I've never.
Is she allowed to have kids?
Well, she's old. She's older than him. Yeah, she is older than him.
He's old. He's pretty old.
Hugh Jackman? I mean, he looks great for his age.
He does, but does she?
Hey, be nice. Stop it. I don't know how she looks, but I'm sure she's fine. Oh, No, the thing that sucks about Cyclops is that because of his abilities, they don't let him do anything else. He just has to open his eyes, and then like that's kind of all of his fight scenes. He doesn't have any like hand-to-hand fights. Or I remember James Marsden was sort of annoyed over the fact that he doesn't get to physically do any of the action scenes. He just has to open his eyes, and then the effect happens. Now that's really cool right there. We just saw Storm hit Sabretooth with lightning.
You want another one?
What's that? Another blue drink? Sure. All right, the train just stopped, and
I can't believe you put that in my head.
well, it's better that you knew, because Bryan Singer, he directed Bohemian Rhapsody, but then that's when the stuff started to come out with him, and so Bohemian Rhapsody got like they never mentioned him during the Oscars with that movie. He was never mentioned by name. So, yeah.
Because he likes cocktail weenies.
Oh, ready that. Clink. All right, this is drink number like 5. I don't know, 5, 6. I don't know. Now here's the part in the movie. The very first time I saw this movie, I thought that Magneto was going after Wolverine because of how he had his claws. Oh, yeah. Wolverine is completely vulnerable to Magneto just based off of powers alone. I remember there's a comic book where Magneto completely rips Wolverine apart with his with the metal. Like he literally rips him from the inside out. Very dark, very fucked up. So this scene reminds me of that. So yeah, you see, you find out that Wolverine is not the one that he wanted. That's the twist. He actually wanted Rogue. Oh, long dart. Young people. I never related more to that quote until now. When I was a kid, I was like, hey. Now I'm like, yeah, young people are dumb. Oh, now this part always shook me when I was a kid. This scene. Watching Magneto lift cop cars like this and basically say, fuck you to the cops. I think Magneto just became the biggest good guy ever by doing this to cops. I want to do some whole anti-cop
Straight out
thing.
of Compton.
I want to do some
Ice
anti-cop
Cube's
thing.
out there like, yeah, motherfucker.
And then he turns all their guns on them. Now see, this is a guy that you want. Oh, look it. If you're wondering what's going on here, that's not really them. That's Xavier. I guess Xavier can possess people, or he can get inside their mind to control them. Pretty freaky. He can't read his mind while he's wearing the helmet. Great way to explain why he wears the helmet. In the comics, it just looks cool. In the movie, he wears it because it blocks out Xavier. Great explanation. And this moment of him calling his bluff, he's telling him that he can kill these cops. Oh, this moment's great. Ready? Oh, yes. And Xavier is now holding back the bullet. He said, can you stop them all? This is. He can't. Look at this. Oh. He has to let them go. Such a good scene. Such a good scene. They're literally playing chess, but they're not face to face with each other. It's just very cool. And every villain has a helicopter, don't they?
How?
Well, Mystique has it. Mystique has it. Mystique's driving it.
How does she know how to fly a helicopter?
Well, why wouldn't she know how to fly a helicopter? You know what I always wondered? Because earlier we saw Mystique pretend to be a guy, right? That guy
Yeah.
that was. When she pretends to be a guy, does she manifest a dick?
Yeah, she does.
does? Are you sure?
You think she plays with it?
I mean, it's gotta be weird, right? Like, do you think she ever pretends to be a guy and then has sex with a woman just to see what it's like? I mean,
on her off days.
Yeah?
Like, I think she just
curiosity.
bi-curious.
I don't know why I think like that, but like I always wondered if people who can transform or you know if that's a thing. I don't know.
Or maybe she transforms into different females and see what different types of vaginas she can get.
Okay, that's way too much. I don't need to hear that. I had one question and you had to make it weird. All right. I like this moment. This is probably the only good moment that Storm has in this movie, where she tells Logan, you know, to choose a side, basically. It's true. Oh, there's Senator Kelly, who looks like shit, by the way. Do you want some popcorn?
Yeah, I want some popcorn.
Okay.
Let me go get it.
Well, yeah, the bowl is downstairs.
No, we don't have to get the bowl.
Oh, it's easier.
Our fans await.
I like how Senator Kelly admitted that he couldn't go to a hospital because he would be treated like a mutant. Which is very interesting. So now he's understanding what it's like.
How does it feel, you jellyfish?
I feel like that's the only way that you can solve racism. Is if you have these racist people turn into whatever race they're against and see what it's like to be treated like that. Can I get some or are you just gonna hog it? Okay, you preamble. You talk.
So Charles is standing up in his dream and actually walking and staring up at what Senator Kelly has gone through with Magneto. And seeing all these different things. Now he's seeing Mystique.
Okay, I'm back.
Take him off.
Okay. What? Mystique's taking what off? What?
Taking him off the thingy.
Yeah, that doesn't sound
No, the mutant thing.
I thought we had another bag of popcorn, but I don't know what happened to it. Did we have it? No?
I don't know.
Alright, well, whatever. I do like that Wolverine always looks like he wants to leave. He has his jacket with him. He's like ready to just bounce. Maybe not. Maybe I'm crazy. Okay. Sorry.
You almost spilled your drink.
I did. I know. I'm all over the place. Alright, so the reason why Magneto wants Rogue
Is to use their power.
Right, well, because the first time that he used that machine to turn Senator Kelly into a mutant, it drained him and it almost killed him, right? It drained him. So he knows that Rogue has her ability to transfer powers, right? So he figures, I'm going to transfer my powers to Rogue for however many seconds that is. And then I'm going to force Rogue to be in that chair and let her get drained and let her get killed by this machine because he wants to turn the whole country into mutants. So basically, he's not willing to die for this cause, right? He's being a coward. He's going to use Rogue to do it.
Bastard.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. just when I was sympathetic towards him, he pulls that bitch card of not wanting to die for his own cause. Oh, Sandra Kelly just died.
But why?
Because he was a human that was turned into a mutant. Not natural. You can't naturally turn a human into a mutant without life.
Not according to the boys.
Well, yeah, the boys, it's fucking what? Compound B or whatever the fuck they use.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Sandra Kelly's dead. To be honest, how do we know that he just didn't turn into Alex Mack and he just turned into a puddle and fucking floated away?
He wasn't near a chemical plant.
That's true. Anyone remember The Secret Life of Alex Mack? That show was a shit. That was like before there was superhero shows or movies. That was like before there was like... They had a girl who got superpowers and fucking, went around and did shit with them. It was cool.
And then, when that show went belly up, they put her on 10 Things I Hate About You.
Oh yeah, that is the same actress. What the hell happened to her? Okay, so we just missed it. So, when Mystique was pretending to be Bobby, she snuck into Cerebro and poisoned it. She put something in it. I don't even fucking know what it was. Some green shit. She put some green shit in Cerebro. And so Xavier just tried to use it. And that green shit infected his head. So now he's like in a coma. Which is fucked up if you think about it. If you include the prequels, Mystique grew up as like brother and sister with Xavier, at least as far as like he took her in when she was a kid, and she was poor, so he took her in and like raised her as a sister.
You're gonna get poisoned, bitch.
No, she already drained the poison out. She got that poison out of her system.
You just wanted to say that.
Look at Cyclops is seeing her put it on. Yeah, you're right though. I mean, Xavier has always told Jean that she hasn't had full control of her powers. So doing Cerebro or anything like that is very dangerous for her because, as we would eventually see, her powers would manifest into Dark Phoenix, right? Her powers are too powerful for her. Like she's a ticking time bomb basically because of her powers. Oh! So he just fucking killed that guy with bare hands. Or, I mean, he has claws. He probably stabbed him. Yeah, that's the real guy dead. So that other guy up there is Mystique.
They're just like killing people.
Yeah. That's why they're the bad guys. So the plan is to turn all these high-ranking officials into mutants. Now, Magneto might... Okay, he just crushed this guy. Look at it. He just turned him into fucking puddle. He just broke off his bones and shit. Now, maybe Magneto doesn't know that this will eventually kill these people. I wonder if he would care. If he knew that this would kill humans, would he care? I don't know. Maybe not, right? But he definitely doesn't know that this is going to kill them. And I guess that's the point. Oh, look at it. It's the Statue of Liberty. So they're in New York. He's like, yeah, right. Oh, so what I was going to mention is that being a part of the Holocaust was a huge part of Magneto's backstory. If the MCU redoes the X-Men and recast Magneto, how do you not have him be old enough to have been in the Holocaust? Because the farther away we get from that, the older he's gonna have to be. And like, how do you not have his character connected to the Holocaust? What I'm trying to say, without having him be like an 80-year-old actor. I don't know, but because you can't lose that part of his character. It's very integral.
I don't think they can do it.
It's hard. It's hard. I don't know how they're gonna put X-Men into the MCU. I really don't know. No.
He just looks like he wants to kill somebody.
Well, he does. He's pissed that they kidnapped Rogue. He's like, he feels responsible for Rogue. He also feels bad that he thinks she's the reason why he thinks he's the reason why she ran away. Alright, so here's a line where Wolverine mentions their outfits. They're all wearing leather outfits. So of course they did that at the time because they didn't want to have them wear the comic book. Look at, you actually go outside in these things. And then Cyclops says yellow spandex, which is what Wolverine wears in the comic books. That's kind of like their joke about it, right? Now, I'm wondering, when the MCU does the X-Men, do you think they should have Wolverine in the yellow spandex?
I think he should wear the yellow spandex.
Really? Huh. You don't think that would look too weird? Alright, what about this? In the cartoon, like the more recent cartoons, not the 90s cartoons that we grew up on, but in the more recent cartoons, they've changed his colors to be darker and it's more brownish. Like, they've tried to stay away from the bright yellow. They try to make it more... No, you don't like that? You still want yellow? I don't know if yellow might look too goofy. I don't know. Like, obviously in cartoons it looks good.
Those are his traditional colors.
Yeah. But Hugh Jackman went 17 years without ever wearing the traditional Wolverine costume. Now, I forget who it was that said it doesn't really make sense for Wolverine to wear a mask because the mutants don't have secret identities. People know, there's no mystery on who they are. So I think that's why the Hugh Jackman movies didn't have him with a mask and shit. He said, sound like the storm is coming. I see what you did there. Oh, wait, so did you say you reacted to me saying that Cyclops was the villain? Oh, not the villain. I'm all over the place. You reacted to me saying that Cyclops was the leader of the X-Men. You kind of laughed at that. Do you not see that he's the leader of the X-Men? Like, can you not tell that that's at least his position in the first movie? As being the guy that calls shots and being the guy who, leads the team out on the field and shit.
I can see that.
Yeah. Obviously, the movies put Wolverine in the forefront of that. Because he has metal on. Get it? Ha! Ha! Fuck you. Ha ha! Even he had to laugh. Like, that was a good one. even Cyclops had to laugh at that one. I like it.
Like, yeah. I know. I'm an asshole.
Yeah. He's like, I know. I'm fucking the girl you like. I know. I get it. But yeah, they're married. Now, they probably don't say it until the second movie that they're married. Maybe that's why you don't remember. The second movie, he definitely said, "Oh, look it. It looked like Wolverine was about to kill Cyclops, only to find out that one of them is Mystique. That's Mystique." So she can mimic his powers, or are those claws not really like adamantium? They're not, right?
No.
So she can't mimic his rejuvenation ability, right?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay. I'm just trying to fully understand her powers. Like,
She can only.
look at this. Just fucking with her. Oh. He didn't realize how strong she was. Oh, gross. He's just like bukkake in her mouth. Alright.
That's disgusting.
What?
He fucking jizzed
He did.
toad in her mouth.
Again. He's like, take it. Okay, now we're coming close to the horrible Halle Berry moment. The worst moment in the movie.
Oh, the same thing happens to everything else.
You remember? Her delivery is so horrible. You don't remember?
Do you know what happens to a toad that gets struck by lightning?
The same thing that happens to everything else? What the fuck does that even mean? Like, what does that mean? It's such a weird line, and then her delivery isn't even that good. Now, granted, the line sucks, so maybe she just didn't know how to deliver it, and I can't blame her for that. But at the same time, it's like, fuck, who wrote that? Okay, so the same thing that happens to everything else. So then why did you? Stupid. Anyways, we're getting our Mystique and Wolverine fight right here. One could argue that Wolverine is having too much trouble with Mystique right now. But then again, you can argue that maybe Mystique is really good. Ow. Imagine if he accidentally burned her mouth. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Possibly the worst line in any Marvel movie ever. Ready? Now, so far this is a cool moment. Seeing Storm be badass and basically like, so far it's cool, right? So far it's like cool. So far so good. Maybe we just need to cut the line out. I don't know what. See, like that looks really cool. That right there. And her delivery is not. It's not helping it either. Ready? Hold on. Ready? Here's the punchline. What? And then I guess she killed Toad, right? I guess he's dead now.
Is he dead? Do we ever see him again?
We don't see him until the prequel of Days of Future Past. And it's somebody else playing him. We never see him in the future timeline. So I'm pretty sure he just died.
So he died.
But wasn't that really weird?
Mm-hmm.
That line? Like, that is just weird. It's such a weird moment. This is a cool moment right here. You're not part of the group. Fuck you, Mystique. He smelled you a mile away. Now, it looks like she's dead here, but she's not. Oh, I still have more trick left. Oh, cool. Prove it. You're a dick. Okay. I love it. All right, that's you. I love it. That's good shit. That's good shit right there.
Because why would a villain say that?
Well, because Mystique wouldn't know that they don't like each other or that they have that friction, right? So, who know if it was Mystique, what would she say? I don't know. Well, Magneto's there. See, Cyclops can't do shit other than his fucking eyes. Damn, that scene just made the X-Men all look like bitches, and Magneto just took them out so easily. Oh, he's gonna make him stab himself, or if he uses them, he'll stab himself. That's what it is. Yeah. Very good. Magneto might be one of the smartest villains of all time. No, he can't open his eyes. But see, like, you don't have any moment of Sabretooth being like, my brother, Wolverine, Logan, my brother, nothing, So, like, did Sabretooth also lose his memory? Because we never saw that in the Origins movie. Like, why is there
Maybe
no...
they just made that up after this movie.
No, that's exactly why. I'm saying, but I'm trying to be like, storyline, But you're absolutely right. It was totally a thing after the fact to work that in. That was never the plan in this first movie. So, continuity, smartnuity when it comes to Fox and the X-Men. They didn't give a shit about continuity. Are you sure you saw what you saw? See, he doesn't believe them that Senator Kelly died.
He died.
Right, so maybe he wouldn't be doing this if he knew it would kill them. That's that little shred of, like, he's not...
I don't think he gives a shit.
He's never... If he wanted to just kill all humans, then he wouldn't go through all of this machine thing. He wants to just turn them into mutants so that they would understand what mutants go through. I do believe that he... Like, if he wanted to just kill them, he would kill them. You know what I mean? He wouldn't build this machine... He wouldn't go through the trouble of creating something that turns them into mutants if he... You know what I mean? He wants to have some sort of unity. It's just... He's willing to kill Rogue to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where the fucked up part of him comes in. Now, how does he make himself fly? I don't really know how that works.
Because everything on him is metal.
So he just lifts himself up?
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense. I love how you can hear her screaming, and Wolverine is very much...
He's just gonna stab himself.
Yeah, you're right. He's willing to do it. Oh, I love it. That's why we love Wolverine. He is selfless. He's a hero. Even if he doesn't want to be, he's a hero.
And he doesn't know he can heal himself.
Let's see, yes. Like we don't have any dialogue. We don't have any dialogue between him and Sabretooth right here to show any sense of, like, we're brothers or anything. It's just a fight, And it's a fight on top of the fucking Statue of Liberty.
Just like Ghostbusters.
It's a cool fight. I mean, the thing that I do like about this first X-Men movie is that it's not some big, huge battle at the end. I mean, like, there's multiple characters here and there is fighting, but it's not what you would get today from a traditional superhero movie. It is It is smaller. It is more character based, and I like that.
Whoa, cool.
I like that. He just cut the fucking. He just cut that top off. That was cool. Oh, now clearly there's something with Sabretooth as far as his abilities to be able to take all these like stabbings and not die. I mean, he just ate like, oh, that was close. He just ate like 3 different stabbings of Wolverine's claws, and he's not like dead. So maybe I don't remember if X-Men Origins establishes that he has the same rejuvenation powers. He might not. I don't remember.
He almost stabbed Jean Grey in the face.
That would have sucked, right? That would have been like, well, there you have it.
At least Cyclops didn't see it, but then when he opened up his eyes, he
Yeah,
would like
he
blast
would
off her
fucking,
face.
he would laser, right? Whatever is left of her, he would laser off. Hey, bub. First time we hear him say bub, which is a big thing of Wolverine in the comics. No. His visor. Oh. And I think Sabretooth dies here.
Bye-bye, Sabretooth.
See, I mean, he just crashed into that. Now, I mean, I don't know. Maybe in a later X-Men movie he would survive that, but we never see him again. So I'm pretty sure that killed him, I think. So the plan is to send Wolverine up there to save Rogue, and if he fails, then just fucking blow up the machine. I guess that works. Jean's trying to stabilize him. I like that. Of course, Wolverine has to be the lead, the hero of the story, right? So this white stuff is supposed to be what turns humans into mutants, right? Oh no.
Oh God, blast it.
Yeah, do it.
Blast it.
There's the white hair. We see the white streaks of Rogue.
We see the white streaks.
That's how she got
it. The fancy people.
The fancy people.
Just blast it.
Now.
It's like Ghostbusters with the ooze.
Now, did you need to see an explanation for how she got the white in her hair?
No.
Yeah, probably not. But, I mean, they put it in there, so, all right.
I'm going to take it.
Do it. Do it.
Take it.
See? There's your leadership moment, Cyclops. Fuck you, Magneto. Broke the machine. There you go. They saved the day. You're welcome, New York. Fuck your couch.
To New York.
Now,
Did you
see that? Did you see that with Jean Grey?
What do you mean?
Well, she had a moment where, like, she was kind of like her head was a little funky. I bring that up because it seemed like they're already planting the seeds for Dark Phoenix, right? In the second movie, she starts not being able to control her powers, and she's hearing voices, like she's hearing everybody's thoughts, and she can't control it. She's freaking out, and Scott sits her down and tells her to calm down, and she says, ever since New York, I haven't been able to control my powers. And so I feel like this is the moment where Dark Phoenix is starting to come out of her, or like this is what sets it off, is whatever that white shit that came out of Magneto's machine, right? Now, mind you, it looks like Rogue is dead right now, and he's even touching her head, and nothing's happening. It's fun. Like he was with.
Yeah, nothing
But
yet.
now, yes, now you see that. She look at ooh.
Oh shit! Look over.
She probably look. He's bleeding from his suit. She probably was dead until this. If he doesn't hug her like this, she'd be dead, right? Like he had to almost kill himself to bring her back. And only Wolverine could survive that. Fucking guy was bleeding from his insides.
My God.
That was sick, wasn't it?
It was sick.
And it's PG-13.
Ugh.
That's probably the most graphic part of this movie was that quick shot right there. Now, okay, we're gonna see.
Fucking that's
hey,
Mystique.
Hey, this one's alive. Yeah, you're right. It's Mystique. Pretend to be a black cop. I wonder why she chose that. And then, and then. So yeah, so I mean, I don't know what you think of that as far as Jean Grey's introduction to Dark Phoenix, or like because
I've never seen Dark Phoenix.
No, but they do the Dark Phoenix story in X-Men 3: The Last Stand. They just redid it with the younger cast in Dark Phoenix. The younger actress does Dark Phoenix in that movie. She plays Dark Phoenix in X-Men Last Stand. But the reason why I bring that up is because in the cartoon, Jean Grey becomes the Dark Phoenix because of an alien that fucking possesses her. Remember that?
No.
But the movie makes it to where she always had Dark Phoenix in her head, like buried deep down in there, you know, and it comes out because of her powers. Fantastic. Is that a Fantastic Four reference?
It wasn't a Fantastic Four reference.
Fox made the Fantastic Four movies. You know that. Now, do you think Jean Grey likes Wolverine at all, or is attracted to him, or anything?
I think she's a little taken with him.
She's a married woman. You know that? Poor Scott.
I don't think she's married.
She is married.
Why do you think she's married?
Because in the second movie they say that they're married. We don't see their wedding in this movie, so I assume they were married even here.
Okay.
All right. Alkali Lake or Alkali Island. That's where I love that jacket too, by the way. That becomes Wolverine's jacket. That's Alkali Lake is where Wolverine the experiment was done to him. And Professor X is telling him maybe you'll find something there. So that's where Wolverine's going to go. He's going to go off and, hey, look who's on the TV. Didn't he die?
Yeah, he did die.
So what's going on? How is he talking right there? Oh! Mystique! Loud ass noise outside. Sorry, guys. So yeah, they just caught that it was Mystique. There's Rogue.
And Bobby.
Flirting with Bobby.
See how well that goes.
Yeah, well, I'm sure Kitty Pryde has something to say about that. When she caught him leaving without saying goodbye. Wolverine's not good at saying goodbye. Whoops. She's keeping the white. She says she likes it. Well, he has to go.
Jesus.
But I do like this. He gives her his dog tags and says, "I'll be back for these." So I don't know if he was originally planning on coming back, but for her, he'll come back. He does feel like he needs to take care of her in some way. So I like that.
No, he's not.
He just stole Cyclops' bike again. Xavier's School for the Gifted Youngsters. I love this, by the way.
He stole his bike.
Of course he did. Because in Wolverine's head, fuck him. Fuck Cyclops. I love this, by the way. This plastic prison, whoever's idea this was for Magneto.
It was Charles. It was totally Charles.
No, but I mean, like, making the movie. Who's ever, like, if it was the production assistant or the fucking set designer or like whoever it was who said, "Hey, we should put him in a plastic prison." I fucking love it. It looks cool. It's super unique. It's very memorable, especially in the sequel when you see him break out of it. But I love it. I just love the way it looks. And I love the idea that Xavier feels this need to still interact with him even while he's locked up. You know, their past friendship makes him unable to just leave him by himself. The war is still coming, Charles. Don't you want to watch the second movie like right now? I just want to jump to the next movie. I just want to see, especially because it's the same director, the same actors. It's a complete continuation. It's without a doubt part 2. I love it. Like, look at that. Look at how that looks. That looks fucking awesome. In fact, it looks even bigger in the second movie. You know what I mean? Like, there's more plastic to it. Is that it? There you go. Directed by Bryan Singer.
Boys write this.
Hey.
That's all I see now.
Hey.
Thank you.
We like what we like. We all have our thing.
What do you mean?
I'm not no, it's fucking sick. Don't get me wrong. But clearly, with the success that he's had, if he couldn't fucking stop doing it, then he has a problem.
Yes, he does have a problem.
The guy made his money. He was...
Guy, get some prostitutes.
Or get some midgets to pretend like they're kids. I don't know what the...
Pretend like they're kids.
Because,
that sounds even more fucked up.
I mean, hey, it might be weird, but...
Ew, God, gross.
I'd rather...
I want to hug my kids.
I'd rather him say I have a midget problem than a fucking kid problem. But yeah, guys, I love this movie. I do. I know it's not the biggest X-Men movie. I know it's not the X-Men movie that has the most stakes. But I feel like as far as the introduction goes, as far as getting the world and the audience accustomed to what the X-Men is as an idea, as an allegory for racism and bigotry and everything that comes with that, I feel like this movie did a great job at establishing what that looks like in the superhero world. And there you go, Rebecca Romaine Stamos.
Not anymore.
No, not anymore. Ray Park, there you go, Darth Maul. But I really enjoy this film. Tyler Mane, that's Sabretooth. Anna Paquin. I think that this movie is underappreciated. It's underrated. I know it's not what X-Men 2 is, but I don't think you can get X-Men 2 without this movie. X-Men 2 continues from where this movie leaves off. This movie introduces us to the characters and the lore and the ideas and the ideology. What the fuck am I trying to say?
I don't know.
The
ideology.
The ideologies. Thank you. I'm fucking sloshed right now. But so without this movie, you can't go to the second movie. And And yeah, I think this movie still holds up. I do. I think it's very bare bones. It's very gritty. It's realistic. It's not flashy comic book superhero movie, which is what the later X-Men movies did. I think this um, didn't do a lot with special effects and CGI and stuff. It was pared down, and I like that about it. I think it made for a very fun watch. It's less than 2 hours long, which is crazy to think about because I don't think we get an X-Men movie that's not over 2 hours nowadays or closer to nowadays. So yeah, this, some people hate that this isn't what the animated series was, that it's not more traditional comic book X-Men. You gotta remember that this is the year 2000. You can't throw at the screen blue, yellow spandex looking, like, you can't do that in the year 2000. You can't. This movie would have failed. This movie would have been a laughing stock. This movie would have been laughed at by every critic, and this movie would not have been taken seriously if it wasn't for the way how they did it. And so I appreciate it. I respect it. I think it's one of the reasons why we get great superhero movies today. And I will always give it credit for that. What's your closing thoughts as we end
I
this?
enjoyed this movie.
You did? It's
I
been a
did.
while since you've seen
It's
it.
been
So
a while since I've seen it.
did it hold up?
It did hold up.
Cool.
I love Logan.
Logan,
I loved
yeah.
Rogue.
Standout, yeah. Rogue is a big character.
I felt like you tarnished some of it by telling me about the pedophile.
Oh. Did you still like that that whatever happens to a toad shit? Did you still like that line?
I don't.
Great line, isn't it? Who's the writer of this movie?
It really didn't
maybe I
mind
shouldn't
it until you pointed it out.
Maybe I shouldn't attack Holly Berry. Maybe the fucking writer should be. Can you pass me the Blu-ray disc, please? Or like not the disc, but the cover. I want to see who the fuck the writer of this movie is. And who knows? Maybe the writer didn't come up with that line, or maybe he did. I don't know. The writer of this movie, screenplay by David Hayter, story by Tom DeSanto and Bryan Singer. So Bryan Singer co-wrote it. Hold on, but David Hayter. David Hayter, you're probably the guy who came up with that fucking toad line.
Probably with Bryan Singer.
You think Bryan Singer was like, what would be cool? This really stupid toad line that I've been thinking about.
Why do you have it this way?
Why, you think I should show the covers? Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, well, let's do it. Here we go. That looks cooler, I guess. You can see the sides of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, guys, this was fun. I love reminiscing and going back in time for the X-Men. I think
25 years.
Or it's been 20 years.
Oh, 20 years. Wow, I'm aging this.
Yeah. This isn't 1995. This is the year 2000. I'm going to feel old as fuck when it gets to 25 years, but 20 years is still a long time. Let us know in the comments below if you want to see us do the second X-Men movie, X-Men 2, X-Men United, which is actually my favorite X-Men movie. I love X-Men Days of Future Past, and obviously Logan is up there too, but X-Men 2, X-Men United is still, to this day, my favorite X-Men movie. If you want to...
But does it have a Stan Lee cameo?
X-Men 2?
I was very surprised. Pleasantly surprised. I liked this movie already. But I was pleasantly surprised.
To see Stan Lee's cameo?
Stanley. Yes, I was still surprised after 20 years.
Yeah?
I was still surprised.
It's a very
this movie.
It might be his most subtle cameo because you wouldn't notice it until you know what he looks like, right?
I know, and he doesn't talk.
He doesn't say anything. He doesn't have a one-liner. He doesn't have a witty moment. He doesn't say anything jokey.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's just like, you just see him in the background, like, oh shit, that's Stan Lee.
And it's iconic.
I'm trying to think if he has.
God rest his.
I feel like somebody's yelling at me right now that, like, obviously he has a cameo in the second movie, and it's this. But like, I'm blanking right now. Maybe I drank too much. Dude, I still have some left.
I drank all mine.
But yeah, guys, let us know if you want to see us do X-Men 2 next. If If you want to tell us to fuck off, that's fine. That's cool. I get it. I'm used to it. YouTube can be a toxic place. The internet sucks sometimes. But hopefully you guys appreciate this. And
My boss has seen this like a bunch of times, he said.
So, alrighty then. Well, we will check you guys next time, whether we do X-Men 2 or we do another Marvel movie. I'm actually just rambling during the credits because I almost don't want to end it while the credits are still going. But
He's there an after scene credit.
There's no after credits scene as far as I can tell. Can you imagine if we see something though and we're like, holy shit? No, but alright, we will end this there. Signing off for Review King MB and
Teeny Talkin' Tina.
I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe.